what are the key things that you notice on a successful Amazon account in terms of PPC side?
But I think most of success actually happens before the PPC, right? So you see accounts that are very, very poorly managed in terms of the actual ads.
That internally within Amazon, or will it look into outside as well? So what's the reach?
Yeah, so I think most of what we're looking at is like within your own advertising data. So we actually have two branches of AI.
So in your case, how effective is top of speech? In general, if you take all the account that you manage based on the campaign type, which one gives you more bucks for money?
Yeah, so I'd say probably the best way to figure this out is to look at your own data.
Ecom Squeezed podcast.
Hello, welcome to Ecom Squeezed. I'm your host, Sebastian, and today we have a special guest with us, is Saif Elhager, and he's the co-founder of AI Hello. So he's going to give us a brief background on how he started the software and all those good stuff. Saif, please, welcome to the show.
Hey everyone, thank you for having me on. My name is Saif. I am the co-founder of a company called AI Hello. AI Hello is a software company which uses AI to automate PPC on Amazon, and we're working on automating it on Walmart as well. We also work on repricing and listing content too. The company started a few years back. I actually joined late. So what happened is I had a separate company called atleast, which used to do AI for targeting programmatic ads for Shopify stores, and that later merged into AI Hello around 2.5 to 3 years ago at this point. And that's how I became the co-founder of the company.
That's great. And let's jump into the nitty-gritty straight away. So, you have managed a lot of accounts, right? So what are the key things that you notice on a successful Amazon account in terms of PPC side?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if this is the answer that we're looking for, but I think most of success actually happens before the PPC, right? So you see accounts that are very, very poorly managed in terms of the actual ads. Like they have bad campaign structure, they're missing out of keywords that they could be targeting. Maybe the certain ad types are missing, certain match types are missing, they're not utilizing all of the targeting types. So all of it's actually going wrong with the account, but they have like a very big brand off of Amazon, right? And then people are just searching up their products and buying it because of that. They have accounts that are 10% A plus, right? Or they were listed way back in like 2010 or something, and they just have a ton of reviews and they have a really good price. So people are just going to buy their stuff regardless. So a lot of PPC success actually goes back to the product and not necessarily to the ads. The ads can take you from like an 8 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10, but they're not going to take like a 0 out of 10 account, which is in my knowledge like a failure account to an account that's doing very well. Right? So I'd say everything starts before the ad is run. If you have really good listing content, you have a competitive price which is at or below market. If you have a product that people actually want, are you in a category that is like suitable for your product? Like if I go right now and let's assume people on Amazon want vitamin C, which they do, and I just create that generic vitamin C bottle I sell it on Amazon, people might generally want vitamin C. That doesn't necessarily mean that they want it from me.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's another guy over there, like 120,000 reviews. It's a known brand and they have a cheaper price and they don't want my product. So the success or failure of PPC generally goes back to, am I selling something that people want, right? And if you are selling something that people want, it's going to be like pushing the ball downhill. Right? It's very easy. If it's something that people don't want, then you're pushing the ball uphill, right?
Yeah.
And the forces of gravity and physics are working against you. So if your PPC is absolutely not working, I think question number one is, am I actually selling something that people want? If your PPC is a 7 or an 8 out of 10, then at that point, probably work with someone like me, like a software company or like an agency, which we actually also provide similar services to, because we have our own managed service, and let them handle the ads, right? And in terms of what makes the ads successful, just target the best keywords, focus on organic rank as well as PPC sales. Don't be focused on getting the lowest possible APAS. Try to expand your sales and try to grow your net profit, not your net profit margin. And just experiment with all of the different targeting types and match types and ad types and see what works for you.
Okay. And in terms of products, we can use PPC to maintain a ranking, like specific ranking.
Yeah.
So let's say for well-established product. So in your, if I pick your brain, so at what time, if you launch a product, at what time you scale down the PPC spend for a specific product? So let's say the client said, okay, I have to maintain like a position 5 minimum organic ranking. So in that case, what kind of play scenarios will you look into?
Yeah, so the thing is that when you launch a product, if the product launch is actually going well, you should see the ads perform better over time. If you have a dud or product with no legs, it's not going to perform well over time. You're going to have a much higher incentive to cut the ad spend early. So if you have a product that is performing better over time and the sales are continuing to increase over time, you'll actually be increasing spend and decreasing spend.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I launch a product today, maybe my budget for advertising is at 3,000 a month, like 3,000, for example, a month, then the product starts doing very well and it's running at a good ACoS and it's starting to grow and I'm increasing my market share and my ad spend actually going to continue going up. If you're asking yourself like, wait a minute, like when can I actually decrease my ad spend now, then that's generally a sign that the product isn't improving at the rate that it should. Right? 2 to 3 months in, you should know if the product's working or not. And at that point, if it's working, you're not going to want to put spend. If it's not working, then your ACoS is 90%,
Yeah.
right? And your margin is like 10%, right? So obviously the numbers don't work out. At that point, maybe discount the product, not just the ad spend.
Yeah, that's great answer. And on your software, is that fully automated or do you have to have manual, manually check the bids and stuff?
Yeah, so I do recommend having a pilot on the seat, but all of the bids, the keywords, launching campaigns, testing match types and marketing types, ad indications, harvesting search terms, placement boosts, day parting, all of that's done within the software. But the decision of like what your ACoS target should be, what the advertising budget should be, when to cut a product, when to know if a product's doing well or not, has to go back to the seller, because only they have that information. So be knowledgeable about your product, be knowledgeable about what KPIs you're trying to hit, and be knowledgeable about, or be realistic, honestly, about how the product is doing, and then based on that, use that to guide your advertising strategy. But the actual like intricate details of when I should increase my bid or decrease my bid, or when I should change my placement boost is all done within the software.
Okay. So AI, hello, right? So I assume AI is involved a lot in your software, right?
Yeah.
So it makes the informed decisions. So which all factors that you need to look into, like is that internally within Amazon, or will it look into outside as well? So what's the range?
Yeah, so I think most of what we're looking at is like within your own advertising data. So we actually have 2 branches of AI. We have our own like mathematical models that try to predict what the bid percentage increase or decrease should be for any keyword based on its history, the current performance, and so on. And then we also have language learning models, which is something like ChatGPT, right? And basically, I was actually just speaking about this on the Master Test stage. But basically, what ChatGPT or other models, we won't necessarily use ChatGPT, but other models allow us to do is they let us cluster our keywords into groups. So they find keywords with similar text and we actually put those into groups together. We're able to average out our data. So even if I don't have enough data on an individual keyword, I can take the data of the rest of the group of other very similar keywords that generally tend to perform the same. Able to use that to estimate at a pretty high level of accuracy how this keyword will do over the short, medium, and long run. And that also informs our bidding strategy.
Okay. And in terms of seasonality with AI?
Yeah, so seasonality, we have different like scheduling things that we can do. And then also seasonality reflects into the numbers. So I have a brand that sells sunglasses and sunglass retainers in the summer. Those will out better obviously than in the winter. So in the winter, the user can change their settings. Right? So they can add a different ACoS target. They can select a different level of aggressiveness for the increase or decrease directions. I don't really want to get in all the details because we have a million settings in the platform. But basically, there are 2 things you can do. Either number one, you set this up for adjust because your keywords will start to perform worse. So naturally drop bids. After these things will naturally sort themselves out. But the user can also go into, okay, like, it's December right now. My product sells well in the summer. It doesn't really sell well in December. And I need to adjust my settings for summer. At that point, they can call the account manager at AI Hello and say, like, hey, we forgot on a Zoom call with you, so you can figure out what settings that you can put into this thing.
And it's fully customizable.
Yeah,
like
so we have
like
a huge list of settings, and you can customize everything. Like you can tell the tool, like I want to be more aggressive on the bid increases than the decreases. You can add keyword-specific ACoS targets. You can add keyword-specific minimum and maximum bids. You can tell it how big or small which change can be in the up and down direction separately. You can do everything basically. So you're able to go like extremely in detail, like go into like the intricate tiny details of how you want everything optimized, and you can use that to adjust for different like product performances or like different seasonality or different things going on in your category or swim account.
Okay, that's great. And in terms of for the keywords and everything, where does it get from? The source of the keyword?
Yeah, so we do have our own keyword database just because we've been in this business for almost half a decade right now. So we have our own database of keywords. We are able to match keywords with products based on how similar they are, right? And use AI for this as well. We also do a lot of harvesting. So Amazon has a very good keyword discovery algorithm. It's called the auto campaign, as well as the search terms, obviously, that you get in your browser and face campaigns. So what the software does is actually connects all of the ad groups that advertise the same pieces together. Then if something pops up in ad group A, which is like an exact match sponsored brand, which isn't in ad group B, which could be like an exact match sponsored product, we can just take it from here and add it here as well. And if something pops up in the auto campaign, I can add it in all of the match types and ad types automatically.
That's great. And in terms of campaign structure, in your ideal scenario, how does it look like?
Yeah, so ideally you don't want too many keywords.
Okay.
I like to keep max of maybe 20, 30 keywords. It depends on the search volume of those keywords. So sometimes we have a very large keyword that gets like tens of thousands of searches per month. You can put that in its own campaign. Other times you have those like search volume keywords. You can have like keywords that get like 50, 100 searches a month. You can generally group those into the same campaign. Ideally though, you stay under 30. And also I'll try to do one ad group and one product per campaign. Because if you have many products and many keywords and many ad groups, number one, it's difficult to assign the correct budget. And then also number two, it's difficult to add right placement boost because your placement boost will no longer apply to a single product and a keyword, might apply to 50 products and like thousands of keywords. So it becomes very difficult to put effective placement boosts. Outside of these two things, it's actually very debatable whether like this specific structure matters that much. The reason that is because a lot of people say if you have too many keywords in your campaign, your keyword won't really spend that much. Right? I'm sure you might have heard this before. And the counter argument to that is if that was true, Amazon would solve it because they want you to spend as much as possible, right? And if they know most of their sellers are going to create single keyword campaigns just because it's very labor intensive, and most of their sellers are going to dump 200-300 keywords in the same campaign. Yeah. And obviously the algorithm would work for the people if are dumping 200-300 keywords in the same campaign. They're infinitely onto that spend that those keywords get. Else Amazon must make less money, right? And there are billions of dollars on the line. So it's very debatable whether limiting the number of keywords is really that big of a deal. The only two non-debatable things is that it allows you to add better placement boosts because finding out the placement level performance for a single keyword is impossible unless it's a single keyword campaign. And also adding a placement boost for an individual keyword is also impossible. So you're forced to add it for the entire campaign. So then if you have 1,000 keywords in there, some might do better on top of search, some might do better on rest of search, some might do better on the product detail pages. And you just have to see the aggregate data of all of these 1,000 keywords, and you just have to place your placement boost based on that. So if you have smaller campaigns, you're looking at it more granularly, and you're able to put better placement boosts. And also the budget is also easier to determine if you have a smaller number of products and keywords and so on. But other than that, like the entire keyword counting and the effect of that on impressions, clicks, and spend is very debatable. But it's obviously counterproductive for Amazon to expect like every single seller to take a single keyword campaign, but that makes on as well.
Yeah, that's a good point though. And I'm not an expert on AI, but we have just spoken about AI, right? Conference. So my question is that the searches are changing now. So the campaign need to change, right? So it will be like intent-based, I assume. So how can you accommodate that in terms of PPC? Are you going to put use case like a keyword or long string of keywords? So
what Amazon is trying to do, from my understanding, is they're trying to move from like a keyword-focused search to an intent-focused search. Right? And I think the example I gave on stage was, hey, I want a warm winter jacket for hiking. Right? And it tries to understand that theory and what the customer is looking for. Might even look at your previous search and purchase history and what products you clicked on. And then based on that, it tries to display what's most relevant. Right? And this is obviously different from the current system for organic ranking, which is very keyword and product attribute based. So it looks at your browse nodes, your categories, it's looking at your keywords that are present in your backend search terms, where points and title. And then based on that, it tries to index you. And then also based on your sales and your CDR and your CTR and all of these other factors, you kind of get your specific rank. Right? Amazon's trying to move to intent-based searches, which you can't really accommodate for yet with PPC, because PPC is still very keyword-based. Right? So Amazon's trying to understand what the customer wants and then show it for them. Whereas PPC is mostly like, hey, I want to target like this keyword and I just want to show up for this keyword. So as of now, I'd say continue targeting keywords as usual. In the future, once we have a better idea of where Amazon is headed with this, probably better tips like that.
Okay, that's great. And regarding the placement, right? We have top of search, right? So this is when an established brand want to maintain their position. So in your case, how effective is top of search? In general, if you take all the account that you manage, based on the campaign type, which one gives you more bucks for money?
Yeah, so I'd say probably the best way to figure this out is to look at your own data. Something I say today might be relevant for like 9 out of 10 sellers. I'm still gonna have that 1 out of 10 seller message me and say like I tried top of search and now I'm wasting money. So I'd say probably go for what works on your account. Right? That you have the numbers, you have the CPCs, the CVRs, the CTRs, you have the ACOS and each placement, and you can adjust your placement boost based on that. The only thing that I would say here is that pop-up search obviously gets a lot of traffic. It's the first thing that shows up on the page. As if you're on rest of search on page 2, you're not going to get as many clicks. So I recommend trying to add at least some type of placement boost for your most important keywords. For top of search, that you can get that visibility, and also it just converts better and has a higher click rate. So it can also affect your overall conversion rates and impact organic links. If I can just go with what the data tells you, and just do what's right for your own engagement.
Okay. And in terms of search query performance report, do you have an integration with AI Hello?
Yeah, so for the SQPR, like you're not going to be able to view it on AI Hello. I do believe we import some things from brand analytics. I should probably have someone on from the tech team to give you the specific things that we input, but I just get like the actual final result, and then I have to determine in terms of like the product, how each and everything works. So in terms of whether or not we import it, this is a more technical question. Probably someone on my team could answer, but we do import a lot of data from Amazon, and it does help our customers out a lot. Right? In terms of how we use it manually though, because we do have a managed service option where someone's actually using the tool for you. We use it to measure market share, so you can see a share of purchases of your most important keyword, which is usually like analogous to your market share. Right? If you average it out across a big enough number of important keywords, that will essentially be your market share. So I use it to track market share. I also use it to figure out why my market share isn't as big as it could be. Right? So you can figure out if your click rate is above or below average, if your conversion rate is above or below average. Maybe if you have like an above average click rate, above average conversion rate, if your market share is very low, that just means you're not getting enough impressions, right? So it's a top of the funnel that's missing. If you're getting a lot of impressions that you're not converting, then the bottom of the funnel is what's missing, and that's where you're losing your customers, and that could be because of reviews, price listing content, or something else. So we do use it a lot manually, but we do import a lot of different things from Amazon. I wasn't have them on my iPad.
And I assume we can upload it to like a CSV file, and if you have a list, you can upload to AI Hello, right?
So AI Hello imports all of its own keywords directly from Amazon or our database onto our profile. You don't need to CSV upload it. If you do want to add keywords into your campaign, that is an option. So you can just upload those keywords, and you can also do it while you're bulk creating campaigns. So you allow users to put like thousands of campaigns in one go, and you can upload your own keyword yourself.
Okay, great. And in terms of KPIs, on the main dashboard of AI Hello, what are the KPIs that shows on the by default?
Yeah, so what we try to do is get all of the most important numbers from Amazon, and we like to segment them in a way that is very easy to understand, very easy for the user to reach like what they're trying to look for very easily, and also very easy to understand the delta on it. So am I going up or am I going down? Where is this metric headed? Right? So what we do is we take all of your business reports data and all of your ads data, and we import it on one big dashboard, and then we start to break it down. So the first thing you'll see is like a big line graph where you have every single metric, so your organic sales, you have your tackles, and two things you can't see on Amazon. You have your ad sales, your ad metrics, your your sessions, your buy box, and everything. You can add them into this big line graph, and you can see how they're doing. After that, you'll see a couple tabs. One tab, for example, is called Insights. That includes your total sales for the current period. Let's say it's $100,000. And under that, you'll see the total sales for the previous period. So it will be like $70,000. Let's say your total sales are up 47%. So it's very easy to track where every metric is going. You have this for your ad sales, your organic sales, your ACOS, your tackles. Then we break it down further. We have your most important campaigns. We have your worst performing campaigns. You have your product level data, all with the up and down percentages and everything. So you can track it. You have your placements. We have your different marketplaces. We have your different targeting types. We have your different match types. We have like a weekly and monthly report where you can track very easily if everything's going up or down or any metric that you want. So it's mostly just taking the most important data on Amazon and just trying to break it up into pieces and have the up or down indicators with the percentages to show the user where they're improving and not improving, so they know where to focus their efforts on.
Yep. And regarding, let's assume that the stock is going low. Like you only have like a week or 2 weeks of stock in FBA, and if the new stock is not coming in that scenario, will Hello will take that into account and scale down or something like that? Will take some action based on the scenario?
Yeah, so we don't do it automatically, and that is because it's actually very difficult to know what the best way to go out of stock is, right? So some people will tell you like, hey, just try to slow it down and try to decrease your ad spend, like it's profitable at least with the last few minutes that you have. And other people I actually have someone in mind. I'm not going to name them though, just in case I'm thinking of the wrong person. But other people will tell you like, hey, go out with a bang, sell very well until the product is out of stock. So like when you restock again, Amazon accounts for that in their algorithm and you rank again faster. There's no like clear way to figure out which is better, because you can't like run the same product out of stock at the same time. One where you're slowing it down and the other where you're speeding it up before you run out of stock, and figure out which one performed better. So yeah, we don't do it automatically. If someone wants to do it, then it's all through the settings. So the settings are super customizable. You can, change your cost target. You can change how aggressive you want to deal with the bid increases to make sure that it's not increasing bids too much. If you're about to run out of stock, you can change your maximum bids. You can change the settings to account for it, but you don't force people to do a certain thing, because there's not enough data out there that tells you what actually performs best in terms of running out of stock. And most recently, we've also been developing a repricing tool. So if you have like a certain amount of inventory and you want it to last for a certain period, so if you have like 100 units left in stock, and you're going to stock out in 2 weeks, but you actually want to try to make it last a month, you should have new inventory in a month, you can actually change your prices to try to get it to the daily amount of units sold. That will last you until that period is over.
Oh, that's very nice. And in terms of creatives, for the advertising, so is that something that you have it on board, like within AI, that will suggest some images, or is that?
Yeah, so we are working with some APIs for like image models, and that's still in beta though. And eventually we're going to have this tool called Ad Genius, where you can just like add your product in and add your cost target and advertising budget. It will automatically create sponsored brand, sponsored display, and sponsored product ads with all of the creatives and text and everything in place, and just launch them all and manage the budgets, the bids, the creative, and everything. So that's in the works right now. It's actually on the dashboard for a few of our people, but it's in beta. And as of now though, for the basic template creator that we have, you'll only be able to create sponsored product. If you want to create sponsored brand or display, generally people make those on Amazon, and then they're just imported into AI or through the API automatically. Be able to run the other automations on our platform.
Oh, that's great. It's been a fantastic time. I know you're quite busy. So thanks a lot for coming down here. Appreciate it. And if you can tell the viewers about your the website details, and I'll put the details in the show notes also, but
So our website is www.aihello.com. If you want, you can go there, check out the different packages that we offer. We offer managed services, and we offer software for both Amazon and Walmart. Walmart's just a managed service for now, and we're not going to find any details on the website because it was actually released like a month ago. But if you're interested in either, please book a call with us. Other than that, you can find me on LinkedIn at Saif Elhager. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to write it out. Maybe you can help in the editing.
Of course,
I'll just leave a link for them. And I'll be happy to have a conversation with any of you guys. Sure.
It's great. Thanks a lot for your time. All the details on the show notes, the link to the LinkedIn and the website and everything. So please do check it out. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.